Hello world, hello YouTube land. Happy 2014. 2014 already? What the bloody hell's happening? Where all the years going, eh? Yeah, where are they all going? Anyway, you might notice that in the back I've got a new frame up on my wall. That's all the Marvel comics for the last 70 years, isn't it? Some good. It's getting bad recently, but as anyone who watches my videos regularly knows, I don't believe that Marvel are doing a very good job of portraying the world as it is post 2001. Lots of issues going on there, of course, to do with 9/11 and real world issues that Marvel just doesn't want to touch. There you go. This is the decision that they made. I'm more interested in independent and DC books nowadays anyway. I'm going to review this one here, Justice League Dark, number 26. Today. Before I get into that, I just wanted to say that I watched Sherlock last night on BBC television. It's the first time I've seen that show. I was just watching it because it's Christmas, New Year's time, and I decided to plug back into the mainstream matrix for a while to see what's going on there. Know your enemy and all that. So what did I think of Sherlock? I thought it was bloody annoying. Why? It was the way it was shot. There was too much going on. It was too fast paced. There was too many. It was like a 1990s music video, really. Lots of music going on, lots of close-ups, lots of zooms, lots of showing off for the sake of showing off. Lots of like text on the screens. Lots of I found them to be quite pointless devices, which really insulted the intelligence of the viewer, or perhaps it didn't insult the intelligence of the viewer. There are, after all, just typical BBC viewers. So maybe the producers and directors of Sherlock just don't have much respect for their viewers. Really think they're quite unintelligent people, so really need to put a big stamp on everything, make it as obvious as possible. I found the character of Sherlock himself, as portrayed by Benedict Cumberbatch, whatever his name is, to be irritating. That wasn't Sherlock Holmes. That was just an annoying git with a haircut. The actual plot about terrorist attack on the Houses of Parliament wasn't fully developed or explained. The terrorist threat in 2014 is Islamic terrorism coming out of Saudi Arabia. At this moment, as we speak, is plaguing Syria. We've got Islamic terrorists sponsored from Saudi Arabia, helped by America and US, UK and France, EU countries. In Syria at the moment, suicide bombing and causing destruction all across that country. And in the last week we had two suicide bombs in Russia, one on the train, one in the bus station, directed at civilians, not politicians. Why? Because the Sunni Muslim radicals want jihad against the entire Western culture. They want Sharia law established worldwide, and they won't be happy until they get that. Obviously a programme like Sherlock is not going to deal with that real life issue, and so the terrorists were North Korean, which didn't seem to make any sense because they didn't seem to have any motivations or motives, and actually the person responsible, a shadowy character, part of the British establishment, I think, didn't even have one single line in the entire episode. So what was the motivation for these terrorist attacks coming out of North Korea on Sherlock? There was no motivation. It didn't make any sense, and all it served to do was allow Sherlock Holmes to come back from the death and look like a hero and do a witty scene where he deactivated the bomb. Big pile of crap. An hour and a half of my life wasted. I'd give Sherlock a rating out of 10, as I do for these comics. I'd give it a 2. Don't bother, a big pile of shite. Right, I'll get on to my review of Justice League Dark now, I think. There we go. This is from Geeked Out Nation. J.M. Donatius is a fantastic writer, fantastic artist as well. Mikhail Janin. There we go, it's a quick sample of his artwork. Probably not as good as some of his earlier stuff, but it's still good. It's still good stuff. Right, here's the review. Review of Justice League Dark 26 by this book. Positives. Focus is on the always fascinating John Constantine. It's a must read if you are following their Forever Evil story arc, and it progresses the story. Great ending that ties into Phantom Strange number 15. Consistent art throughout. Negatives. If you don't like Constantine, then you won't want to follow this title. It's most about Constantine. Lots of deaths and rebirths, so somewhat devalues the impact of subsequent comic book deaths. Bottom line is underwater action, a hero returns, and a huge storyline development at the end. Right, so here it is then, my review of Justice League Dark 26. The last issue of Justice League Dark should logically have been the last, as all the heroes had been decisively defeated, and the bad guy Blight was crying about his victory over their dead corpses. But comic books being comic books, their deaths were only temporary, and so in issue 26 of JLD, we see the return of our heroes and a quick explanation of how they weren't actually dead after all. To be fair, I don't think there was a single reader of this book that actually bought for 1 single second that they were all dead, so I have no problems with this storytelling device, as long as it serves a purpose and enhances the overall story, that is. So does it do that? Yeah, I think it does. And JLD is all about the realms of existence beyond death anyway, so having characters switch between life and death states like they're exchanging costumes in a fast-paced theatre show, it isn't such a big deal as perhaps it would be in other titles. The device also allows Constantine to tap into the consciousness of one of the lost members of the Justice League Dark, Boston Dead Man Brand, and begin the process of rescuing his seemingly fallen team members. He hasn't quite got to his main target yet though, as he himself explains when questioned about the validity of his new discovery. If I was going to whip up a manifestation, don't you think I would have seen C instead of Boston Bloody Brand? That's Constantine all over, ostensibly thinking about his own needs first, but deep down there's something of the old softy about him, and mixed with a good sense of the ridiculousness, it makes him one of the most intriguing and lovable rogues in the entire DC comic book universe. Writer J.M. DeMatteis writes him very well, making him the central focus of the title and using him to structure and contextualise the narrative throughout. After it's established that Dead Man isn't actually dead, the also not dead team of superheroes heads off to an underwater rescue mission to free him from the consciousness of the previously assumed dead Sea King. That's a lot of dead people who are not actually dead, isn't it? But remember that this is JLD we're talking about, so it's not as daft as you might think. DeMatteis writes Constantine as the kind of bloke who mocks and makes light of absolutely everything that's happening, no matter how serious or ridiculous it all gets. Even when it's at its daftest, it always seems perfectly logical because Constantine is there, sending up the old thing as it happens. As always in JLD, there's a consistently excellent penciling of Mikhail Janin to enjoy as well. This issue is largely set at sea, so we get a number of very nice panels that use the violently unpredictable movement of waves to create a sense of uncertainty and danger to proceedings. The artwork works very well in intensifying the level of threat from the briefly resurrected Sea King, and the story wraps up with a final panel that shows one of our heroes either making a very dangerous gamble or repeating what he also did to another man with the initials of JC many years in the past. To find out if history is going to repeat itself, we remind you to pick up Phantom Strange number 15, a comic that I will most certainly be buying because of the excitement generated by this very well constructed issue of Justice League Dark. To conclude, what we get here in JLD 26 is a team play of a comic that fits one piece of the puzzle into place, adds a few more pieces, then hands off to the next team member. It's very unselfish in that regard, but as a single issue comic I really enjoyed it as well, and have no hesitation in giving it my full recommendation. If you enjoyed Constantine, comic book magic, and the Forever Evil story arc as a whole, I'm sure you'll get just as much enjoyment out of this book as I myself did. And I gave it a rating of 8.2. Yeah, 8.2, think about it now. Yeah, I think that's about fair. Pretty decent comic book. It's Justice League Dark, number 26. If you're following the Forever Evil story arc, this is really good. It's been good for a few months now. Yeah, pick this one up. Right, that's it. Thanks for checking out my review. And yeah, let me know what you think of what I said about Sherlock. Lots of people are saying nice things about it, but being the contrarian that I am, didn't like it. Sorry, a bit partial in my opinion. Thanks a lot. Hope you've had a fantastic Christmas, great New Year, all that sort of stuff. I'll see you later. Bye guys. Bye.